بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين حبيب إله العالمين أبي القاسم محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. صلى الله عليك يا مولانا يا أبا عبد الله. صلى الله عليك يا ابن رسول الله. صلى الله عليك يا ابن أمير المؤمنين. صلى الله عليك يا ابن فاطمة المظلومة. ما خاب من تمسك بكم وأمن من لجأ إليكم. يا ليتنا كنا معكم سادتي فنفوز والله فوزا عظيما. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والسابقون السابقون أولئك المقربون في جنات النعيم. آمنا بالله صدق الله العلي العظيم. صلوات. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. For the love of Abba Abdullah al-Hussein, with the loudest of our voices, sallu ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. For the love of Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen, with the loudest of our voices, sallu ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. And for the hastening of the reappearance of our beloved Imam, the awaited Savior, with the loudest of our voices, sallu ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum jami'an wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. Once again, we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving us this moment and this opportunity. Tonight being the 7th night of the holy month of Muharram, where we try our level best as much as we can to take a lesson or two from those beautiful values that were established by our beloved Master and Savior Abu Abdullah at the plains of Karbala. If Mu'mineen and Mu'minat will recall very well, last night we dwelled on Ashura in the lens of Sayyidah Zainab alayha salam. And we discussed ways and means of approaching issues or difficulties in life. And if you recall very well, we mentioned Sayyidah Zainab uttered that profound statement in the palace of the enemies in Kufa. After seeing all that she saw in Karbala, but she said, I've seen nothing but beauty. Said the best way to analyze issues, problems, challenges, pains, headaches in life is not just to look at the painful side of it, but as you look at the painful side of it, try as much as you can to look at the positive side of it. And if you recall very well, we spent chunk of last night time to look at the positive sides of issues and pains in life as per the traditions of our beloved Imams. The verse I've just quoted from glorious Quran, we continue with this series of inspirations from Ashura. It's Surah Al-Waqi'ah, verse 10, 11, and 12. Beautiful verses, and no doubt we know these verses. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala says, وَالسَّابِقُونَ السَّابِقُونَ. The foremost are the foremost. Those in the front are in the front. Those who embarked on the journey before you, they are ahead of you. And Allah said, أُولَٰئِكَ الْمُقَرَّبُونَ. They are those who are close to Allah. They are not just close to Allah, fi jannatin na'im, isn't it? Now, departing from these beautiful verses, our topic of tonight will be life and taking advantage of a moment. This one inspiration and practical lesson I and you can affiliate ourselves with and learn from Abu Abdullah and his beloved companions. Our examination of tonight will be of the following stages. First stage, we will look at the reality of life. And then second stage of the examination, we will look at methods and ways and means of taking advantage of moments of our lives. And then the last stage, we'll then look at Karbala, we'll look at Ashura, and see how they took advantage of the moments. I mentioned on the first night, every night you come here, take at least a lesson. Don't enter and go without nothing. Abu Abdullah did not go out for us to sit, listen, and do nothing out of what we listen. He went out so that when you hear those beautiful messages, you seek to paint yourself with those paints. Take just a lesson. Don't stress yourself to take too much. Naturally, you can't. We are human beings, busy with our lives. Take a lesson. So that by the 10th day of Muharram, I and you can pause, look back, and say, we begin this majlis from here, and now I can confidently say, I've accumulated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 lessons. We spoke of the composition of the camp of Abu Abdullah, you recall, 2 nights ago. It's a diverse camp. You will never find an organization on the face of universe or community that is so diverse like the camp of Abu Abdullah. You will not find it anywhere. This is where we're going to begin with our tonight discourse. In the camp, there were old people, 70 above, who were companions of prophets and eventually became companions of Abu Abdullah. One, you know it. In the camp, there were middle-aged people. So you're talking of people like Hazrat Abbas alayhi salam, people like Hazrat Imam Zainul Abidin Ali al-Akbar. In the camp, there were youth. And in the camp, there were children. In the camp, there were women. People from different walks of life. We discussed this before. We discussed their social status, if you remember. We discussed their background and where they came from. Now, why are they so special? It's because they made the best out of time. They took advantage of their time. Wallah, we waste time. Believe me, not all of us here, we waste time. So kindly pay attention to tonight's discourse. Some of them joined Abu Abdullah for less than 2 days. And some prayed with Rasulullah, prayed with Amir al-Mu'mineen, prayed with Imam Hassan, but they stood against Abu Abdullah. Making the best of time is crucial in life. You can sit here tonight, I can sit on this member and tell you I'm a good Muslim. Allah, I never know how I will end my life. Abdullah ibn Muti used to say, Ya Ali, but he died wanting to take off the head of Ali. Some of them were kissing the feet of Amir al-Mu'mineen, but they died wanting to kill Ali. It's not easy. Wallahi, it's not easy. We are blessed to have Abu Abdullah. Let's take advantage of Abu Abdullah. Let's make the best out of the lessons we get from Abu Abdullah. Reality of life. First stage of our examination. Because those companions understood the reality of life. So every single moment of their life was put into a proper use. Yes, I know when it comes to your money, you are excellent. I know when it comes to your secular education, you are excellent. I know when you come to how you fit in the community, even with your dress code, you are excellent. Can you vouch and tell me we are excellent when it comes to aligning ourselves with Abu Abdullah? Do we give priority to Abu Abdullah the way sometimes we give priority to our friends? It's a question, reflect. It's easy in Muharram. It's very easy to come together in Muharram. It's no big deal. It's easy to come in Ramadan. It's no big deal. Don't get carried away and excited. It is after Muharram and after Ramadan. The first reality of life is what? It moves like clock. See this clock? Tick, 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 tick. The seconds. That's how life moves. Hence our beloved fourth Imam, Imam Zainul Abidin, salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi. Said the most sensitive moment of someone's life is the moment he or she arrives in this world. He said it's not the moment you die. Because the moment you arrive, the clock is going to start ticking, tickling. It moves. By the time you realize you've lost a lot, you've wasted a lot. That's first reality. Second reality, life moves very fast. You know it. You know what Maulai Kainat mentioned? He said hours move very fast in days. And days move very fast in months. A month move very fast in years. And years move very fast in our lives. Wallah, it moves very. When did we start Muharram? Almost 1 week now. It's moving very fast. Number 3. Reality of life. You know the way it moves, sometimes you don't even understand. By the time you realize it's gone. It's difficult to understand how life moves. It goes very quick. And the last one, which is reality of life, as per the traditions of Ahlul Bayt, is what? Says people, in most cases, don't make the best out of their lives. Seriously. 1 week Muharram. Look at your life. How many hours have you spent for Allah? Allah, if you take your phone, today with iPhones and other phones, they show you your screen time. Sometimes one becomes embarrassed. Sometimes it's embarrassing if you look at your screen time. Wallah. How time is wasted. How energy is wasted. How potentials are wasted. How resources are wasted. Sometimes embarrassing. Now, second stage is the most important. We're going to look at very practical ways of taking advantage of every moment of our lives, as per the traditions of A'immatul Ma'sumin alayhim as-salam. Number one is from our beloved first Imam. He said, "Oh my lovers and followers, take advantage of every single moment of your life to connect with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala." You tell me, no, Maulana, I'm at work. I said, yes, you can use the work to connect with Allah. No, Maulana, I'm outside with my friends. Yes, you can use that opportunity to connect with Allah. You can say, I am working to make money so that I'm able to worship Allah peacefully. You are connecting with Allah. You know what Imam Ali mentioned? He said, Inna al-layla wa-nahara ya'malani fika fa'mal fihima wa ya'khuzani minka wa khuz minhuma. Amir al-Mu'mineen is telling us, Shi'ani Ali, Shi'ani Hussein, days and night are working in you. Why don't you work in them? Imam Ali says, days and night are taking a lot from you. Why can't you take from them? Imsak bizimam al-mubadara, as they mentioned. Take advantage of every single moment of your life to connect with Allah and to connect. You remember we discussed. To connect with Allah is to connect with Ahlul Bayt. And to connect with Ahlul Bayt is to connect with Allah. So therefore that's the first step as per the traditions of A'imma. Second step, igtinam al-anasir al-qawiyya aw al-quwwa. Taking advantage of powerful elements in our lives. Here, kindly pay attention. All of us here, we have powerful elements. But the question is, how many of us take advantage of those powerful elements? See, Baba, I always tell you, it's easier said than done. I can sit here and talk. It's cheap. But for it to be seen in me is a mammoth task. Today, I and you, we get fascinated when a person talks like parrots. Yeah. But when it comes to action, nobody cares. Ahlul Bayt are looking for actions. What are the powerful elements in our life? In a famous tradition of our beloved Prophet. Prophet tells us, Igtanim khamsa qabla al-khams. Take advantage of 5 before 5 come. You know it. First one, youth. Allah, today you see how many of us use our phones. People are so engrossed with their phones. Even during Salat time, phone is sitting next to people. Do you see how less productive we become today? Even in our daily lives, we are so less productive and less creative because of social media. When Ahlul Bayt taught about this many years ago, Shababuka kabla haramik, Rasulullah is telling us, take advantage of your youthfulness before you become old. Now you have the energy, come make ibadah. You have the energy, come recite Marsiya. You have the energy, come serve the community. You have the energy, learn how to recite Quran. You have the energy, learn how to understand the traditions of Ahlul Bayt. You have the energy, lead people to understand Ahlul Bayt. Else, one day you will regret. Seriously, this is simple akhlaq. This is not philosophy, this is simple. What I'm talking about is very simple, really. But these are the lessons we learn from Abba Abdullah. Youth, You've got the advantage. You know what Imam al-Bakr mentioned? He used to tell his companions, oh my beloved companions, go around Medina. If you find any Shi'i youth who is not determined to become religious, although today people, when we say religious, they look at it with a different meaning. Religious means somebody who follow halal and go away from haram. Imam al-Bakir alayhi salam used to tell his companions, go around Medina. When you come across a Shia youth who is not religious, bring that youth to me. I, Bakir, will discipline him. Shababuka qabla haramik. Take advantage of this time. I'm sitting here. I'm full of energy because I'm young. In the next 5-10 years, I will not be able to do like this. If you don't take advantage of that, you go mosque, elderly people sitting on chairs praying. Where is the love of Abu Abdullah? Seriously, sometimes you need to talk like this. You love Abu Abdullah? He prayed Maghrib and Zuhur in the heat of Karbala when enemies are making headways. You better than Ali al-Akbar? You more smarter than him? La! Take advantage. You are fortunate. You are blessed. University graduates, living in a very peaceful country, family looking after you. If you do not become connected with Allah, you expect somebody in Africa, in Pakistan, in Afghanistan, in Syria, in Yemen to be more religious than you? No, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. You don't think of what to eat. You don't think of where to sleep. You've got posh cars. Look at other countries. They've got excuses in the court of Allah. Take advantage. It's an opportunity. It's a blessing of Allah. Don't use Allah's wealth to sin against Allah. But today, those who are wealthy, they are less religious in our communities. But because they give big money, community praise them like they are holier than thou. That is where it begins. We need role models. Shababuka qabla haramik. Take advantage of that youthfulness. I'm not telling you stand and do tahajjud. I'm just telling you the way you spend time on your phone. Spend 1 month to read one book. Who has finished complete cycle of the lives of Ai from first Imam to 12th Imam? Raise up your hand. Seriously. Old man. From the life of Amir al-Mu'mineen up until 12th Imam. Have you read all? So definitely religion will be boring because you do not have in-depth understanding of it. It will be boring. Because their knowledge is too small. The second one, Rasulullah said what? Ginaka kabla fakrik. We're still on the second point. Take advantage of every moment. Prophet said, take advantage of your richness before you become poor. You've got money now? Serve the zuwar of Abu Abdullah. Allah, I repeat, Iraqis put us into shame. They give Zuwar everything to eat in the love of Abu Abdullah. I live in the UK, you live in Canada, you live in the United States of America, wherever you're living in. You've got everything. But you know, that Hussein penetrated in their heart. They found without Hussein there is no life. Even for the lover of Hussein to walk on them, to them is a means of shafaat to Allah. So let's give everything to Hussein alayhi salam. They give. But those people are very poor. United Nations is telling us among the poor countries today, impoverished, is Iraq. They've got a high number of orphans. Don't you dare put us into shame. So Prophet said, take advantage of this. It's not yours. This money, don't think it's yours, man. You know, we spoke about it. I don't want to repeat. This is not yours. better give some part of it to the owner so that you play safe when you go to him. Number 3, Rasulullah mentioned, faragak, your free time, qabla shughlik, before you become busy. Because you can become busy that you don't even have time for ibadah. You're free now. You're young. How many children you have? When you become old, you don't have time anymore. Sihatuka qabla sakmek. Take advantage of your health before you become ill, sick. And then the last one, hayatuka qabla mautik. Take advantage of your life before you die. So this is number 2. Taking advantage of the powerful element. These are the powerful elements. Number 3, look at it. Allahu Akbar. Fill in your times with good things. Play safe. Play safe. Whoever is older than you, Imam Jafar said, consider him like a father to you. So treat him like the way you treat your father. Whoever is of your age, consider him your brother. Treat him like a brother. Whoever is younger than you, if you are a married person, consider him like your son. Treat him well. Play safe. But you know, the Holy Prophet mentioned on the day of Qiyamah, for every single day we spend in this world, for every single day, look at the riwayah, for every single day, Allah will create for that particular day for you 24 safes, like shelves. So Prophet gave example of 3 shelves or safes. He said the first safe, it will be open for you on the day of Qiyamah, and it will be filled with light, a lot of light. So Prophet was asked, what safe is that? Said the safe of your a'mal as-salih. Yani every single moment you do something good, that safe is filled with a light. Then he said the second safe, it will be filled with complete darkness. He said that is the safe of your sinning against Allah. So every time you sin, that safe, a black spot will be dropped in. Fine. The third one is my point of interest. He said there will be a safe. When it will be open, it will be completely empty. There is nothing there. Then they asked Prophet, what safe is that? He said, it's the safe of the time you wasted in dunya. Time you wasted in dunya. You know, there is this thing that we do. Let me kill time. You even have free time, you are killing. Hey, Allahu Akbar. Sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Let's kill. I want to see how time has been killed, man. Maybe Talqeen will be recited. You kill time. So if you've got nothing, there is no Quran to be recited. No, I just want to kill time. I'm just passing time, Sheikh. No. So every single moment that is been wasted in dunya, it will create a vacuum on the day of Qiyamah, as per this tradition of the Holy Prophet of Islam. So no darkness, no light, no benefits. And this tradition is to equip us and encourage us to make, you know what I'm trying to do is what? I know your dunya, you're okay. My interest is connecting with Allah and Ahlul Bayt. Make the best out of your time to connect with Allah and Ahlul Bayt. You know, our problem is what? It's one thing. Seriously. Our problem is that there is something which is found everywhere but little is felt about. That is Allah. Allah is everywhere, but little we feel about Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. That's the challenge we have. And that is what Abu Abdullah stood for on the 10th day of Muharram. That's what Abu Abdullah alayhi salam educated us. And that is what I and you need to strive and compete in reaching there. We need to emulate, not even Abu Abdullah, we need to emulate Kambar. We need to emulate Maytham al-Tammar. They were ordinary human beings from a very poor background, poor family, no technology, there was nothing. But they excelled because they spent their time wisely. And when they spend the time wisely, Ahlul Bayt would intercede on their behalf on the Baba, Shafa is not a joke. Don't get carried away, you're going to get Shafa overnight. Let me give an example. This happened in Najaf. Ayatullah, one of the Ayatullah, was given Dars Kharij in the holy shrine of Mawla Kainat. There was this gentleman, Iranian, who loved ziyarah, like some of us. So he would always come to Najaf and spend months, and then he would go back. So he came to Najaf. And whenever he was in Najaf, he would attend the classes of that marja. So there was a moment when he was absent, although he was in Najaf. Well, this is a true story. So the marja inquired as to the reason for his absence. So the marja was told he was ill and really critical. So marja said, look, let's go visit him after class. I just want to show you the love of Ahlul Bayt. It's not a joke. Haba Baba. It's not a joke. It needs some excellent hearts. Now the marja went to visit this gentleman. The gentleman was like really in sakarat. He was dying. So marja sat next to him with some of his students. Marja looked at this guy. This guy couldn't speak properly, but he could answer here and there. So the marja said to him, say, La ilaha illallah. So the man said, La ilaha illallah. Correct. And then the marja said, say Muhammadur Rasulullah. Then he said, Muhammadun Rasulullah. Then the marja said to him, say Aliyun Waliyullah. He got stuck. He got stuck. Wallah, marja repeated for the second time. Allah, Muhammad, Ali, stuck. Third time, Allah, Muhammad, got to Ali, stuck. Marja tried everything. The guy wouldn't say Aliyun Waliyullah. This is the person everybody thought is like Malaika, is good. Marja naturally got tired, it was late, they left. Allah, out of wisdom, gave this man another chance to live, to survive. He got cured. He got cured. But when he got cured, he was embarrassed, so he did not go back to the class. So one day the marja was walking. You know, those of you who have been to Najaf, our marja, sometimes they will walk in Najaf, they will pass the market, they will go to the haram of Amir al-Mu'minin. So he was going, then he saw this man standing next to a bookshop. So he looked at him, said, are you the one who were coming to the class? And he said, yes. The marja said, I thought you left this world, but I would really love to talk to you. So the marja sat next to him. He said, what happened? Allah, you said Allah. Muhammad, you said Muhammad. Ali, you said Muhammad. Wallah, he began to cry. He said, you know, Hazrat, he's referring to the marja. When you were telling me Allah, I was saying Muhammad, I was saying, Ali, I had some money with me. And that money, my plan was to buy sugoti. Those who know Iran, when you travel, you get sugoti. Sugoti means gift. To buy gift. So when you were telling me Ali, something was appearing to me and telling me, if you say Ali, you lose this money. When you say Ali, and I will say, said not, if you say Ali, you lose this money. Then the marja said, this is lack of sincerity in your wilaya for Amir al-Mu'minin. Your heart is crucial for Ahlul Bayt. It's very important. So let your times and hours filled with good stuff. Do away with negativities. Somebody negative, leave him. Don't worry. The number 4 way of taking advantage of every moment of our life is musara'a. Is to haste in doing good. You come in Muharram, Somebody meets you out there, said, can you help with the car park? Don't think twice. Because that opportunity may not come again. Some people who telling them come, they are going back, come, they are going back. Wallah, you regret it one day. Be lucky. Be happy you are invited to come and serve the cause of Ahlul Bayt. Quran, chapter Ali Imran 133. Allah said, وَسَارِئُوا إِلَى مَغْفِرَةٍ مِّن رَبِّكُمْ وَجَنَّةٌ أَرْضُهَا السَّمَاوَاتُ وَالْأَرْضُ أُعِدَّتْ لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. Allah said, haste to the forgiveness of Allah. In other words, haste in doing good. You know, when you come to the mosque like this in Muharram, you need to see people competing to serve the cause of Aba Abdullah. It's an opportunity for us. We need to compete. You go to the haram of A'imma, there are doctors, there are top-notch engineers. Wallah, who would register 1 month, 2 months, no opportunity to help the Zuwar of Aba Abdullah? Sari'u. Chapter Baqarah 148 said what? Fastabiqul khairat. Be in the forefront of doing khair. Compete in serving the cause of A'immatul Ma'sumin alayhi salam. Mawlai Kainat mentioned, do it now. He said, Ya ayyuhan nas, al-an, al-an. Imam Ali. He said, oh people, now, now, now. Don't postpone. The life is not in your hand. Take advantage of that. He said, come teach madrasa, problem. No, when I come, they judge me too much. Baba, you are not doing for anyone. You are preparing souls for Imamul Zaman. Allah, divide your time. Don't run behind dunya only. Dunya is too dry, it's too cold. It will throw you somewhere. It's so important. Prophet Nuh was asked by Jibreel. Allah sent Jibreel to Prophet Nuh to ask him, how does he define dunya? He said, dunya is like a room with 2 doors. You enter in one door and you exit from one door. That's dunya. You enter here, you exit there. That is dunya. And so, sari'u, rush, compete, be in the forefront of reciting the Marsiya, be in the forefront of reciting the Quran. In fact, go and ask them, is there any opportunity for me to serve the Majlis of Aba Abdullah? It's an opportunity for all of us. I always tell people, when you sit on this member, you are not doing favor to anyone. You know why? Imam Hasan al-Askari never had a member like this. He did not have people sitting next to him to talk. He was on parole. He used to give signs to his people. Sign. In Samarra. Because he had to go and report. So he would come out, he would do a sign. And then they would pick up as to what he was trying to indicate to. He never had like this. They did not allow him, the Abbasid. We are blessed. It's an opportunity to serve A'immatul Ma'sumin. And the next way of taking advantage of every moment, as per the traditions of our beloved Imams, alayhimus salam, is what? Al-Qiyam bi'a'malis salihat. Always have a plan to do something good. Always you have a plan. You want to go and serve the orphans of Karbala? Good plan. Go do it. You want to go here, downtown, to help the homeless? Go do. Always have a plan. Time is running very fast. Always have a plan. And Surah Al-Mulk, very clear, you know. الَّذِي خَلَقَ الْمَوْتَ وَالْحَيَاةَ لِيَبْلُوَكُمْ أَيُّكُمْ أَحْسَنُ عَمَلًا. He created life and death to examine you who will do the best of the deeds. Have a plan. I know you have a plan about your job. You have a plan about your business. Do you have a plan about imams? Do you have a plan about serving people? And you know, the best form of amal saleh is to serve humanity. Because Allah mentioned in Hadith al-Qudsi, Rasulullah reported, An-nasu ayalullah. People are families of Allah. Ahabbahum ilallah, anfa'uhum li'iyalih. Those who are so dear to Allah are the ones who are more beneficial to the families of Allah. Reach out to people. There are people who are suffering. Reach out to them. I mention it in the name of Imam al-Husayn alayhi salam. Al-Qiyam bi'amal salih. And the last one, taking advantage of every moment. Iktinam al-lahzat al-naw'iyya, they call. Taking advantage of yearly, monthly occasions. This is Muharram. It's going to lead us to Arba'in. Question: what are your plans? What is the plan of you and your wife about Muharram and Safar for Imam Hussein? Have you drawn any plan or nothing? Muharram, come, go, we attend Majlis, that's it, ticking the boxes? No. What's your plan? What's the plan? Chill. Chill will chill you. We need to have a plan. And some of these plans, you find them in the traditions of Ai. Someone will say, what I'm going to do with my family in this Muharram and Safar, I'm going to spend time dedicated to read more about Bibi Zainab. Only. Because I want to really know about Bibi Zainab. I don't want to rely on what has been said on the member alone. My wife and my children this year, our Muharram target is by the end of Safar to be able to read a lot about Bibi Zainab. Because Ahlul Bayt would always remember Sayyidah Zainab alayhi salam. Some will say, no. My plan of this Muharram and Safar is what? Is to be able to read a lot about Ali al-Akbar. Because I don't hear much about him. So the little information are there. I and my wife, we're going to dedicate our time to read. So you need to have occasional plan. And this is the occasion of Muharram and Safar. Now if you come to Karbala, look at how they took advantage of every moment. The one we began, we mentioned him, Khur ibn Yazid al-Rayai. Khur was between hell and fire. Swiftly took decision. Some of us take us long to take simple decision in life. Khur was between hell and fire. But he swiftly changed. He made good use of his time. Although Mujahid, who was from the camp of the enemies, was sitting next to Hur. And he said to Hur, Hur, you look confused when you are known to be someone who is decisive. He said, no, Mujahid, I'm between hell and fire, but I'm between hell and Jannah, but I'm going to take Jannah. And she said to Aba Abdullah, I repent. I hope Allah forgives me. Abul Fadl al-Abbas took advantage of the opportunity. How? He was so thirsty. He was so thirsty. He went to Furat. He sat next to Furat. He took the water. The water was getting closer. He remembered, no, the Imam of my time is thirsty. Took advantage of that moment. Baba, you are standing out there. As-salah, Allah. You taking your time. We are not taking advantage of this moment. You are told to donate. It's an advantage. Abbas will say, Ya nafsi min ba'd al-Husayn khuni, la kunti anta kuni. He took advantage. He said, oh my nafs, Do you want to drink from this cold water when my master will be fed from the syrup of sword? He took advantage. We shouldn't listen to this Masaib and just go away with that. He took advantage of that. Abu Sumamatu Sa'idi. He was standing. He saw the enemies were coming, but he realized it's Salat time. I don't want to die before Salah. He went to Abu Abdullah. Oh, my Imam, I want to pray before I go. He took advantage of that time. Sayyidah Zainab alayhi salam, after Karbala, after Ashura, she took advantage of exposing the world to the message of Abu Abdullah. They were hailing Zainab with stones. But Zainab would stood her ground and looked at them and said, we are not rebels. We are daughters of Rasulullah. Wahab, Christian, we discussed about him. Less than 1 week he became a Muslim. And among the first Shuhada of Karbala, he took advantage. You are born Muslims and Shias. Are you taking advantage to be very powerful in your faith? We've got the advantage. We've got the upper hand to become true Shias. We've got the advantage for Imam al-Zaman to be proud of us. You know what? There are beautiful traditions from Imams about the Maqam of Shias on the day of Qiyamah, isn't it? But those Maqam, you can't get it if you are not a true Shia. You know, Rasulullah would come out and he said to people, Ya ayyuhan nas, inna haza Husayn ibn Ali fa'arifu. Oh people, this is Hussein the son of Ali, know him. Innahu fil jannah, wa muhibbihi fil jannah, wa muhibbihi fil jannah. Said, indeed Hussein is in heaven, and his lovers are in heaven, and the lovers of Hussein will also be in heaven. They are those who took advantage of having Hussein as their Imam. Well, we have a narration also. Inna Allah yatarahama ala muhibbi Ali kama yatarahama ala al-anbiya. Allah is so merciful and sympathetic with the lovers of Ali, like the way he's sympathetic with the prophets. But is it just like that? No. Ali must be seen in your action, and Hussein must be seen in your action. That is why when you go to the study of sociology, we are told that the quality of every community is two things. Number one, they call istikhdam. Number two, they say tanafus. First quality is what? Each and everyone's potential is used in that particular community. We are all of different potentials. You know what is nice about life? It's when you have potential and you volunteer that potential. You know, the work you do to get money is not nice. Because you work, you get money in return. You know what is nice? What comforts? Is when you give and nothing in return. When you remember, you feel good. So they said one quality of a community is what? There's istiqdam. Every single person brings his potential on board. And the second quality is tanafus. Each member of that community compete to serve in that community. Quran said, فَلْيَتَنَافَسِ الْمُتَنَافِسُونَ. The competitors should compete. It's the benefits. And hence we are told, those who make good use of their time, they've got three qualities. First quality is what? They are smart. This is as per the tradition of Islam. They're smart. In the eye of Allah, they are smart. Because they are taking advantage. Like the companions of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. The second quality is what? they've got sense of responsibility. I mentioned first night. They feel they are obliged. You receive this message of Abba Abdullah. Yeah, now it's your responsibility to do something about it. And the third one, they are bold. They are bold. So Imam Ali said, "In khifta shay'an faqafi, fa inna intizaraka la ashaddu min wuku'ika fi." He said, when you get scared of doing something, that's the time you should do it. Because you waiting for it is more dangerous than doing it. Do, brothers. Serve the ummah. Serve humanity. Go out there. Get inspired by Hussein. Do something. Yes, there are obstacles in our community sometimes when you try to do things. And there are two major obstacles, and I will leave you with that. First obstacle, we have a muhbitin, people who are negative. Very negative. Who only bring negative energy. You've got an idea, you want to start, no, it's not going to work. We tried it didn't work. It's negative people in the community. They are people who are making life difficult for people. Young boy, young girl want to start something, they are negative. And the second one is what? Stumbling block, red tapes. You want to do something, you have to apply like you are seeking for Jannah. You want your potential to manifest, and then there are so many red tapes on your way. Allah, on the day of Qiyamah, some of us will be responsible. So therefore, the garad of tonight's discourse is what? It's very simple. Take advantage of every single opportunity that you have. Because the companions of Abba Abdullah took advantage. Remember, he left Medina with harmful people. Most of them joined him by taking advantage. He left Medina, the number was too small. And tonight, you know very well, it's a very painful night, which is dedicated to Sheikh Qasim, the son of our beloved Imam Hasten al-Mushtaba, the man who is in Jannat al-Baqi alone. Qasim took advantage of the moment. Why do you begin with this masa'ib of Qasim? Last night was the night of mothers. Tonight is the night of brothers. Motherhood in Karbala last night. Tonight is brotherhood in Karbala. And you know, Prophet Yaqub alayhi salam cried, isn't it? Until he became blind. But he still knew Yusuf was alive. Why did he cry and became blind? Because it killed him to realize that some of his sons are hating the other son. How many times we become pains for our parents? Abu Hamza al-Thumali asked Imam Zainul Abidin years after Karbala, "Oh my Imam, why can't you stop crying about the sons in Karbala? Qasim been mentioned, you cry. Ali al-Akbar been mentioned, you cry. Abdullah, the son of Imam Hasan, mentioned, you cry." You know what was the response of Imam Zain al-Abidin? He said, you know, Yaqub was blessed with 12 children. One was alive but missing. But Yaqub cried until he lost the eyesight. But I saw members of my family being butchered in my presence. And that is why you know very well, when they began trampling on the body of Abba Abdullah, Imam Zain al-Abidin could watch. But Sayyidah Zainab was inside. She came out to Imam Zain al-Abidin. She asked him, who is breaking bottles? Imam Zain al-Abidin looked at her. He said, Amma Zainab, is not bottle. These are ribs of my father being broken. Ajrukum ala Allah. He saw members of his family being butchered on the plains of Karbala. And for 20 years, Imam Zain al-Abidin would mourn the martyrs of Karbala. Allahu Akbar. But on the 10th day of Muharram, excellent brotherhood was displayed. You find Mohammed and Aun showed love to one another. After Karbala, Mohammed and Ibrahim, sons of Muslim bin Aqil, showed love. Ali al-Akbar and Imam Zain al-Abidin showed love. Imam al-Hasan had 7 sons in Karbala. And those sons showed love to one another. One of them is Abdullah, the son of Imam al-Hasan, which narration mentioned was 11 years. Abu Abdullah, you know very well, first they shot him on his forehead. When Hussein was trying to remove the arrow, they then shot him on his chest. When he was trying to remove that arrow, they shot him on his elbow. When Abu Abdullah was trying to remove the arrow, another shot on the other elbow. Then they keep shooting him. Narration mentioned Hussein fell down, he was like a hedgehog. But Abdullah, the son of Imam al-Hasan, he saw the uncle on the ground. He rushed to the body of Abu Abdullah. He said, Wallah, I will not allow you to kill my uncle until you kill me. Narration mentioned he fell on the body of Abu Abdullah. But you know what they did to him? They shocked his right hand. He called out, Mama, they shocked my right hand. Eventually they beheaded Abdullah. But the moon of all the sons of Imam al-Hasan was Qasim alayhi salam. Narration mentioned Qasim was 13 years on the 10th day of Muharram. You know what happened? Look at the masa'ib of Qasim. Let's take advantage of having a leader like Qasim. Let Qasim become our inspiration, our youth. Let Qasim become your role model. Let Qasim be an icon in your life. Take advantage of having a leader like Qasim. Qasim began to approach Abu Abdullah. Narration mentioned as he was approaching Abu Abdullah, he heard Abu Abdullah calling out, Hal min nasirin yansuruni. Is there any helper to help me? Narration mentioned Qasim got to Abu Abdullah and he said, Uncle, I am here, grant me permission to help. Abu Abdullah looked at Qasim. He said, Oh Qasim, I cannot allow you to go. Qasim, stay behind and look after your mother. Qasim, stay behind and look after your mother. He said, Qasim, when I see you, I remember my brother Hasan al-Mujtaba. And I tell you, the musibah of Imam al-Hasan, whoever saw Qasim on that day, remembered Imam al-Hasan. You know what is so painful? Wallah, it's painful. La'natullahi ala zalimeen, wallahi. You poison him. But you did not just poison him, you refuse him to be buried next to Prophet. You did not refuse him to be buried next to Prophet. Arrows on the body of a Mayyit. That is why each one of them, when they saw Qasim, they would remember the Masa'ib of Imam al-Hasan. We are told when Abu Abdullah got to Jannat al-Baqi to bury Imam al-Hasan, Abu Abdullah had to remove bullets of arrows from the body of Imam al-Hasan. Ya Allah. Abu Abdullah refused to grant Qasim permission. He said, Qasim, go back, you are too young. Qasim began to walk back towards Khaymaga. As he was walking, he heard Abu Abdullah calling, Hal min nasirin yansuruni. Narration mentioned Qasim came back to Abu Abdullah. He said, Uncle, You are calling for help and I am here to help you. You remember that narration? One narration mentioned when Abu Abdullah called out for Al-Min Nasir, Imam Zainul Abidin went inside Khaymaga. He said to them, can you give me a stick? They offered him a stick. When they gave him a stick, they asked him, what are you going to do with the stick? He said, I am going to defend my father. Narration mentioned he fell on his face. Qasim alayhi salam came back. He said, uncle, you are calling and I am here for you, oh uncle. Abu Abdullah looked at Qasim. He said, Qasim, you are too young. Stay behind and support your mother. That was the time when Qasim began to walk back to Khaymaga. Allahu Akbar. When Qasim was closing Khaymaga, Ramla came out, the mother. She saw Qasim. She asked Qasim, what happened? Qasim said, uncle said, I'm too young. I should come back and look after you. Ramla said, Qasim, come. She opened a small box. She removed the letter. She gave to Qasim. She said, take this letter to Hussein. Qasim began to walk to Abu Abdullah. Abu Abdullah could see Qasim coming. Qasim came with the letter. Allahu Akbar. Abu Abdullah opened the letter. What was the letter? That was the wasiyah of Imam al-Hasan alayhi salam. What did the letter say? He said, oh, Garibu Karbala. Oh, Garibu Karbala. There will be a moment when I will not be there. Allow my sons to represent me in Karbala. That letter broke the heart of Abu Abdullah. You know where I'm going. You know what Abu Abdullah did? He held the hand of Qasim. He said, Qasim, come follow me. They went. Abu Abdullah opened the box. In the box there were three things: rope, sword, and turban. That was turban of Imam al-Hasan. Abu Abdullah placed the turban on the head of Qasim. He gave him the rope and the sword. He said, now Qasim, go and bid farewell. Go to Sayyidah Zainab and bid farewell. You know what happened? Narration mentioned when Qasim entered the Khaymaga of Sayyidah Zainab began to cry. She asked, is this Qasim or Hassan? You know what she said? She said, Allah, Qasim, you remind me of my brother. My brother was there for me on the 19th of Ramadan. You know what happened on the 19th of Ramadan, isn't it? When they struck in the middle of the head of Amir al-Mu'minin. Imam al-Hasan on the right, Imam al-Hussein on the left. They were holding Amir al-Mu'minin. Imam was limping. But when they were about to get to the house, Imam looked at Hasanain. He said, oh Hasanain, allow me to walk. They asked him, Father, why? He said, because I don't want Zainab to see me in this. Zainab said, Hassan was with me on the 19th day of Ramadan. Qasim, you are reminding me. Al-Muhim, Qasim bidded farewell and Qasim headed towards the battlefield. Qasim began to defend. He began to fight. Narration mentioned he killed so many. Every time he would kill, he will call Uncle Abbas, are you proud of me? Alamdar. Allahu Akbar. You know what happened to Qasim? La ilaha illallah. As Qasim was defending, his shoe stripped in the shoe of the horse. The horse became confused. The horse turned left. The horse turned right. The horse turned left. The horse turned right. All of a sudden, the horse fell down. When the horse fell down, there came a rush to the body of Qasim. You know what they did? Ya Allah. They did not just behead him. Read the eulogy. Read the Masa'ib yourself when you have time. They slaughtered him into pieces. That's how they did to Qasim. That's how they did. But as he was falling down and they were coming to him, he called out, Agisni ya Amma, Agisni ya Amma. Oh uncle, assist me, oh uncle, assist me. But you know, by the time Abu Abdullah reached to the body of Qasim, it was too late. You know, Hussein stood next to the body of Qasim. He said, oh Qasim, I am sorry I arrived late. Question, how did Hussein carry the body of Qasim? Narration mentioned, Abu Abdullah took the rope and he began to join the pieces of the meat of Qasim. Narration mentioned he was carrying flesh falling down. He was carrying flesh falling down. It is very difficult. Abu Abdullah slowly but surely carried the body like that, pieces. Head there, but the body pieces. Abu Abdullah got to Khaymaga. He was holding Qasim like this. And he covered, you could see the heart. So Bibi Ruqayya came out. She thought Qasim was sleeping. She said, Qasim, this is not the moment to sleep. But you know, what will really touch our hearts is what Sayyidah Zainab, she came out. She saw Hussein holding something. She said, oh my Hussein, what are you holding with the rope? Hussein said, oh my sister Zainab is the pieces of the body of Qasim. I leave you with this line. Your narration mentions in the final moment, Hussein sitting next to the body. Layla was there sitting next to the body of Akbar. Ramla came, she sat next to the body of Qasim. Sayyidah Zainab was sitting in between them. Sayyidah Zainab looked at Abu Abdullah. She said, Abu Abdullah, can you give us chance? So Hussein walked away. When Hussein walked away, Layla fell on the body of Akbar. Ramla fell on the body of Qasim. They said, Zainab, we couldn't cry in front of Hussein. Allah la'natullah ala al-qawmi zalimin. Before the tabut and the shabi of Qasim, we have our mothers who humbly requested dua from us. We have our sister Shadab who is not feeling well. And we have our mother Ruqayya, they are not feeling well. With the barakah of tonight and the barakah of the musibah of Qasim, may Allah cure them with His cure, inshaAllah. Ya Allah, continue to instill the love of Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad in our heart. Ya Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, inspire us with the true teachings of Abu Abdullah al-Husayn alayhi salam. Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un.